It currently looks extremely likely that the Samsung Galaxy S26 series has been delayed. It might launch in March. Not long ago, we heard allegations that the Samsung S26 series would be delayed until March, which would see it land approximately 2 months later than the January release we were expecting based on prior trends. At the time, just one source had noted this, but now several have echoed this assertion. According to reliable leaker Ice Universe posting on Weibo, the Samsung Galaxy S26 series has been confirmed to be postponed, while the similarly reputable Setsuna Digital has indicated it may be postponed to March. Neither of these sources specify a reason for the delay, but recent reports claim that it could be the fault of the Samsung S26 Edge, or rather that there apparently won't be a Samsung S26 Edge due to low sales of the Samsung S25 Edge. But rather than just shipping two phones, the base Samsung S26 and the Samsung S26 Ultra, the company is instead said to be planning a Samsung S26 Plus, something which it likely now needs more time to develop, since this rumored change in plans is apparently a recent development. 1. Name changes and chipset choices. That's certainly the biggest cause, but there are other possible concerns too, with Samsung alleged to be flip-flopping on what to title the base model. A name change from Samsung S26 to Samsung S26 Pro has been tipped for a while, but is now reportedly abandoned, and there could be further disagreement inside the firm over which, if any, models to equip with its in-house Exynos 2600 chipset. Recently though, we've heard that Samsung has achieved a high yield of this chipset, and that its performance is promising, so it could be extensively employed. Any or all of this might feasibly contribute to delays in the S26 line's introduction, and with numerous sources now indicating it probably is delayed, we'd say that's looking likely. Though it's still worth taking all of this with a dose of salt. We won't know for sure that the Samsung S26 series isn't arriving on its regular January release date until Samsung says otherwise, or until it fails to show up totally. The vanilla S26 may not be a huge change from the S25 other than a larger 6.7-inch display and a 4,300 mAh battery. Every S26 model is supposed to feature a new, bigger sensor that collects more light. Additionally, every model should operate on the new Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, while there are speculations that Samsung is aiming to use its own Exynos 2600 in the phones. That has been an annual topic of conjecture for a few years, and has yet to be proven out. Though Samsung did use an Exynos chipset in the Z Flip 7, which proved weak compared to the Snapdragon 8 Elite-powered Motorola Razr Ultra. Beyond that, Samsung may ultimately adopt silicon-carbon batteries over lithium-ion to enhance battery capacity, though this feels less likely based on 5,000 mAh battery capacity rumors we've seen. As noted above, it should have even rounder corners and curves than the S25 Ultra. The camera lenses could potentially reside on an elevated platform. Unfortunately, the S26 Ultra could ditch the S Pen, as one leaker stated Samsung is deleting the S Pen digitizer in lieu of bringing in Qi2 wireless charging components. It could abandon the hole-punch camera cutout for the first non-folding Samsung phone to include an underscreen camera. Speaking of cameras, Samsung might include a variable rate aperture in the S26 Ultra. On the bad news front, it's been rumored that the sensors will remain the same as those in the S24 and S25 Ultra. Despite reports that the capacity will remain the same at 5,000 mAh, the S26 Ultra could get 60 dOE charging, a 15 dOE improvement over the 45-watt S25 Ultra. Samsung is reported to offer slight design tweaks to the S26 Ultra. The smartphone can be 0.4mm slimmer than its predecessor and possibly include a revamped camera island to enable larger sensors, substituting the floating camera ring. The device is likely to preserve the general style of elegance, but become more ergonomic. For display, the S26 Ultra might sport a 6.9-inch M14 OLED with color-on encapsulation technology. The brightness might be up to 3000 nits, and this will allow the screen to be visible in broad daylight. The display is also equipped with a privacy option known as Flex Magic Pixel that may be utilized to dim the display if sensitive material is needed. The Galaxy S26 Ultra 5G is predicted to be powered by Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 processor, paired with 12 GB LPDDR5X RAM and up to 1 TB of storage. This combination should offer seamless performance, multitasking, and gaming capabilities. The gadget is likely to maintain its battery, with higher efficiency due to the upgraded processor and display, and possibly support 60-watt fast charging. The S26 Ultra will include a 4-camera system with a 200 megapixels main, a 50 megapixels ultra-wide, a 50 megapixels telephoto, and a 10 megapixels telephoto with 3x optical zoom. It is also rumored that the front camera is 12 megapixels, featuring high-quality selfies and video calls. Such a setup must boost low-light photography and allow flexibility in shooting. The Samsung S26 Ultra 5G claims to be a feature-packed flagship, with design upgrades, cutting-edge performance, and superior photography capabilities. As Samsung prepares for its early 2026 launch, the S26 Ultra is expected to attract tech enthusiasts and professionals searching for a premium smartphone experience. The implosion of the S25 Edge may have ruined a lot of plans in Korea, but it hasn't really felt like the S26 series was ever going to be a leap forward in 2026 like next year's iPhone lineup with the iPhone Fold is intended to be. We've still got a few months to go till we see what Samsung pivots to next year, especially with speculations that the S26 debut has been postponed to March rather than the recent January releases. The corporation has time to tinker, and it may need it. Early performance benchmarks indicate that the Exynos 2600 has the potential to challenge, and in some cases surpass, the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 2. While the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 2, constructed on a 3-nanometer process, remains a powerhouse in terms of performance and efficiency, the Exynos 2600's 2-nanometer process technology gives a considerable advantage in certain areas. Key performance features of the Exynos 2600 include 7. Superior multitasking capabilities for smooth user experiences. Faster processing speeds for AI-driven applications. This battle between the two chipsets is expected to stimulate innovation and set new benchmarks for mobile performance. By pushing the frontiers of what is possible with mobile processors, Samsung has positioned itself as a leader in the next generation of smartphone technology. The Galaxy S26 Ultra's dual-chip strategy signals a significant moment for Samsung's Exynos business and the broader smartphone industry. By reintroducing Exynos CPUs with state-of-the-art technology, Samsung is announcing its intent to compete directly with Qualcomm and Apple in the global chipset market. Strengthen the company's position as a leader in mobile technology. This action has the potential to change the competitive environment of the smartphone business. By exhibiting the potential of the Exynos 2600, Samsung could motivate other manufacturers to explore similar tactics, ultimately benefiting customers through increased innovation and competition. So that's all we know for now. We'll be sure to keep you updated as soon as we have more information. Thanks for watching.